On Thursday, IRS Chief Danny Werfel will testify before the House Ways and Means Committee. Congressman Paul Ryan, who sits on that committee, joins us now. Congressman, welcome.
Morning. Good to be with you.
So with this new information, I mean, what is it you want to know from Werfel when you quiz him today?
Well, what we still don't know is who ordered this kind of targeting. Why did it take so long for them to clean it up? We don't know about the harassment that occurred after these groups were singled out, the harassment that occurred on the donors, the harassment and the intimidation that occurred with the kinds of questions that they asked of people. $70 million in bonuses to this kind of performance. Now they're asking for $1 billion more to clean the mess up. So there are lots of inefficiency questions. There's lots of
but does it look less partisan with this new information?
Well, I don't know the answer to that. So we're going to let the facts take us where they take us. You know that there's on the lookout list, right? So what they're saying is there were various different groups from left and right and everything in between that were put aside. Then the question is what kind of harassment occurred? All that we know so far is that the harassment and the intimidation occurred on religious groups, on conservative groups. We don't know just how deep the harassment and the intimidation occurred of these groups after they were originally singled out. This is what the investigation's for. We're not going to draw any conclusions beforehand.
Regardless of whether they're conservative or...
That's right, but we know that the IRS did target people based upon their political beliefs. And who cares whether they're right or left? The fact that they're targeting people for harassment based upon their political beliefs should be cause enough alone for outrage.
Let's turn now to the issue of immigration. We saw, of course, the Senate move forward, including 15 Republicans moving in these very tough border security measures. Do you think that makes it more likely it could come up in the House, pass in the House?
We won't bring the Senate bill up in the House. The House will do its own legislation. We're going to do our own plan, which is going to be far more methodical. We're going to take our time. The border security triggers are very important. And so that's going to be probably the keystone of the House legislation, which is first you got to secure the border.
But do you think the Senate bill is encouraging what they did?
Yeah, I do. I actually do. I think that passing helps make this final passage even more likely.
You do?
So, yes, I do. I think that making sure that we're emphasizing that the border is going to be secure and under control so that the rest of immigration reform can come alongside it after the border is secured makes getting final law that much more likely. But the House will do its own legislation and won't do the Senate. What the Senate just did was they moved closer to the House's position, which obviously makes final legislation more likely.
But we keep hearing that Boehner's not going to bring it up unless...
Yeah, well, he's not going to bring up the Senate legislation. I mean,
but until a majority of Republicans support it. When do you expect the House will move?
I think we'll probably in July is our plan.
But you were saying you think a majority of Republicans might very well support it now.
No, we're not going to bring the Senate bill up. But I think the majority of Republicans support a plan that says secure the border, similar. Okay. But we're going to make sure that we do it right. We're going to make sure we secure the border. We're going to make sure that we have the E-Verify system up and running and fix legal immigration.
And how important do you think the Republican Party thinks it is to address immigration reform?
I think it's very important. Look, we tried to fix immigration laws in '86. That didn't work. Then in '96, we've been trying to since 2006. We have a broken immigration system. It doesn't work for anybody. So it's very important that we fix our immigration system. Legal immigration is good for America. We also want to make sure that we know who's coming and going in this country.
I realize you're a House Republican, and therefore you've had your moments of opposition to the president. This is from Politico this morning. 6 months into a second term, Barack Obama's presidency is in a dead zone. Now, does what's happening with Edward Snowden even emphasize that as well?
It does, because it just reveals an administration that seems more and more incompetent by the day. When you see scandals such as the IRS or intimidation such as the Department of Justice,
what would you have done that the administration has not done with respect to Edward Snowden?
Well, first of all, I would reveal how is it that a 29-year-old contractor with 1 year at Booz Allen Hamilton can get this kind of security clearance, get kind of access to this kind of intelligence, walk out with a thumb drive and give it to the world. I mean, how is it that our security clearances are so low that something like this can happen? That's number one. Number two, once we've discovered that this person has stolen our secrets, has leaked them, you think we'd have a better job of following up with them.
And so now they talk
in China and these other countries.
Now they talk about consequences and that the relationship with China and Russia may change. What tools does the United States have, and what would you recommend the president do to instill those consequences?
Well, I don't want to knee-jerk, but I would say that we have extradition treaties, we have relationships, we should use those relationships, and if we're not able to convince our allies or other countries to actually help us with this, that doesn't speak very well to how we're being viewed in the world. That doesn't speak very well to our credibility. And if we try to leverage our credibility and we are not successful, that does not help our image whatsoever.
All right.
Thank you.
Congressman Paul Ryan, good to see you.
Thank you. Nice to see you again.